We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded right around the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Watson off play action. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
Pickett. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Pickett to throw on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. About
set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know the thought.
And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Pickett back to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Pickett. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Open man, Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The Cowboys hit 10 and 4 on the year. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Watson. He's airing it out for Williams. And now Watson throws another interception. William Jackson with a pick. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Pickett now on first down. And this one too low.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Pickett, he's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Trying with Pickett here on 3rd down. This is caught. Touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. T.J. Watt. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. To try again after the sack. Watson swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. On 4th down, Matt Araiza is sent on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Austin. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you...
It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds Pickens over the middle. And in for the Steelers touchdown. George Pickens from 19 yards away. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just...
He's got a man, complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Watson on 1st down. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. First and 10, here's Pickett. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the draw, it's Harris. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. To the air on first down with Pickett. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So a decent gain there, but not their fourth consecutive first down like they had on the first three plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well,
on it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the third time in this game. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted,
Chubb fumbled him. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble or an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They give him a gain of 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Throwing again on second and 10, Watson. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points, while the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2, Pickett. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Pickett right back to the air again. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. From just shy of midfield, Pickett. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on first.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape of him. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Extra point forthcoming. It's good, and it's 21-10.
Makes the score the Steelers 21, Cowboys 10.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Back to throw, Pickett. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw, Pickett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, tried to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run. Anything,
because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Watson. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Looking deep downfield. And At the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 44 yards. And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And this will be caught at the 30. And they'll work this down inside the 30. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Watson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 12-yard line. Here's Watson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
2nd and 6 at the Steelers' 8-yard line.
Watson now to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Steelers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Damone Clark fought his way through and buried him behind the line.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them.
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. Damone Clark able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 15. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Watson. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, 46 yards. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And now here's another interception. And the Cowboys are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game. Back through 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Pittsburgh, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.